Several years ago, when I got back into playing music, decided I had a couple friends, Corey Rush and Greg Chamberlain, as a matter of fact, and you know there was this opportunity for me to jump on board with them and begin playing some music, and I thought, you know what, I can play the bass. I'd played it a little bit as a kid, didn't have one, so I called and got one ordered, but I called my Uncle Norman. And I said, Norman, can you help me out? Do you have a bass I could borrow? And he said, sure. And he said, come on down. So I drove down, and he opened this bass case. This case was, and it was this Fender bass, this Starburst color, and it was just scratched up and kind of banged up and beat up. And I know my first expression was, you know, boy, that doesn't look really good. But he assured me that it was a beautiful sound and it played good. And then he told me a story. See, when he first got this guitar, he told me that he took it to a friend of his in Springfield that worked on guitars. And he took it up there simply for him to restore this thing. He walked up and threw it on the counter and said, fix this thing up, repaint this thing, and let's make it look beautiful. And he told me the guy opened the case and immediately shut it back and pushed it right back to him. He said, I'm not touching that. He said, no way. And my Uncle Norman really couldn't figure it out. And the way I remember my Uncle Norman telling the story is the guy told him to go home and take a picture of it and put it on eBay and see what happens. So he went home, and my Uncle Norman took a picture of that guitar and he put it on eBay. And in just a short amount of time, the bid on that thing was up to a few $1,000s. So he called the guy back and said, man, this is crazy. And he said, yeah, man. He said, those scratches and nicks and dings, he said, those are road miles. He said, actually, on something that is very valuable, he said, that increases its value. See, sometimes in life, we look at those scars and those dings and those nicks and those bruises, and we think it decreases our value in life. The mistakes that we make, it just makes us less than what we were actually created to be. But in all honesty, if you really think about it, those are learning moments. Those are life moments. They give us value. Yeah, if we could go back and we could fix it, or we could do something different, we probably all would. But don't waste those opportunities. You can use those opportunities to grow and to become more of that masterpiece that God created you to be. You can use those opportunities to turn around and help someone else that's dealing with the same problems that you have conquered. So when you look at yourself in that mirror, if you see some nicks and scratches and bumps and bruises, it's just giving you value. You're still that masterpiece, just a whole lot more precious to God.